You know, there was a wise man named Michael Irvin, and he once shared, he said, the greater the obstacles one goes through, around, or over, the greater the reward one will receive when victory is achieved. The 2019 Dallas Cowboys came into the season with championship aspirations, and after a season of inconsistencies and mediocrity, the Cowboys are finding themselves in a tough spot, and they're trying to get back to what they call the DNA of America's team. So I went and sat down with running back Ezekiel Elliott, the one man I believe with the proper feed can rewrite the genetic code and lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl.
What's up, Jam?
What's going on? Good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me, man. Well, you're busy, you know. Talk to me about the expectations from you guys in the locker room coming into this season.
Simple, championship expectations. We know the group of men we have in this locker room. We know the talent we have. Yeah, we haven't put it together. We're not happy where we are, but it's all right there in front of us. We just got to give ourselves a shot. We got to get in those playoffs, and we have some football left, and we're still in a good spot.
You guys certainly put it together last week against the Rams.
Yeah, they're going to hand it off to Elliott. Elliott broke through and walked the dog.
They ain't stopped us yet. They ain't stopped us yet.
We were just focused on going out there and getting a win, come off 3-game losing streak. So we knew the guys we have in this locker room, we knew the talent we had. We just haven't put that on film. We haven't put that on tape on Sundays. And that's why we were losing ball games. But if we come out and play ball like we did last Sunday, we are a really hard team to beat.
Talked about recapturing the DNA of our team. This one's done. Now it's tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow's a one-day season.
Yes.
There have been talks about that maybe this team now moves from the run game first to the pass game first. What do you think the run-pass ratio should be?
50-50. When we're running the ball really well, we're really hard to stop. Teams just don't want to line up and get hit in the mouth 30 times a game. That's tough on a defense when you're controlling that clock and you're staying ahead of the chains. But, I mean, honestly, I just want to win ball games. That's what I want to do. I don't care if we throw it 90 times. As long as we win a ball game, that's all that matters to me.
Dak with the play fake, four-man rush. Dak's in trouble, and he goes down.
Well, speaking of throwing it 90 times, Coach Garrett let the rest of us know that Dak Prescott, he has an injury to his shoulder. What do you know about Dak Prescott's health?
I mean, he's a tough guy. He has a little sprain on his shoulder. I know he prepares as well as anyone in this league. I know he'll be ready to go out there and play Sunday.
How do you think it would affect him in the game Sunday?
I don't know. I don't know if it will. If it does, I mean, I'm going to be ready. The O-line will be ready. I just want to go out there and get wins. And, I mean, if I got to carry it 40 times, 50 times, I'll do that. Feed me.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Night Football, Eagles-Cowboys.
You guys, if you beat the Eagles, you're in the playoffs. Last time it was 37-10 beating. What can you take from that game that you can use in this game?
I mean, we came out hot. Early in the game, we got up on them, a couple scores, and just stayed on them.
Malcolm Jenkins has a chance to take Elliott down. Elliott just runs through that. Can't stop him. Keep hitting him in the mouth. I told you, just wait on it. Just wait on the money. It's coming to you.
It's a championship game. You got to be ready the whole season. It depends on this game. Their fans are going to be wired up. They're going to be ready. They're going to be screaming. They're going to be shouting. There's going to be crowd noise. But, I mean, we're built for this. We're built for these moments. Just got to put those blinders on and go to work.
Let's make it interesting. Why don't you go and tell a friend?
Your honest assessment, sir, of how dangerous the Cowboys can be if they get in the dance.
Listen, and Zeke talked about it, is if they can play the way they played and get back to staying with that formula where they are a run-first team or at least 50-50, then I heard Troy talk about it. I don't think any team would want to see the Dallas Cowboys in that form, putting it all together. That offense and that defensive line controlling games like we've seen in the past. They've gotten back to that. They just got to be able to stay on to that.
Yeah, and I look at the teams that they possibly have to play, San Francisco, Seattle, Green Bay. You know, those are all teams that struggle to stop the run. So I think they're scary for a game, but I've talked about it. They haven't been consistent all year. Hard for me to believe that all of a sudden they're going to find some consistency and be able to put 2-3 games together and make a long run in the playoffs. But I'm with you. I don't think any one team is going to want to go into Dallas if this team is running the football and play that team. They could be dangerous for at least one game, having the home field advantage for sure.
It's all about what Dallas Cowboy team we see. They have been inconsistent up and down. We've seen them really good, beat the heck out of the Eagles 37-10, win big against the Rams, but down again, they lose to the Jets and the Bears, and you don't know what you're going to get week to week. But if it were to end right now, if they're the 4 seed, and then let's say Seattle right now, they're the 5 seed. They beat Seattle in the playoffs last year, okay, at home. Then they lost to the Rams, who ended up winning the Super Bowl. Well, they just beat the heck out of the Rams. So this team on any given Sunday can really do damage if they play like they're capable of playing.
Yeah, Rams went to the Super Bowl last year, no doubt. But the path is this, essentially. I mean, more than likely it's this. You will host a 12-win loser of Seattle, San Francisco, ornery, pissed they got to go on the road. Yeah. And then if you win that game, then you've got to visit perhaps the team that just sent that other team into your house. Right. So it most likely is San Francisco, Seattle, Seattle, San Francisco, either way, just for them to make it to the championship game that a lot of people believe they have to make for Jason Garrett to keep it.
But that's why I gave you that barometer and allow the Rams to be the barometer. If I'm in that locker room, that's what I'm talking about with the rest of these guys. The Rams are the barometer. We beat the Rams. They beat Seattle, and they just played a tough game to that other team, San Fran. That means we can get them.
Hey, however, logic. All I'm saying is we take a look at actives and actives. The barometer will turn out to be a 12-win team.
Yes.
In your house. That's pissed to be in your house.
You don't get extra points because you had 12 wins and they had 7.
Ian, what do you have for me over there, sir?
Yeah, I'm not so sure Irvin is correct about that. But anyway, let's get to some of the big active and actives for today. And first of all, the biggest surprise, Derrick Henry, starting running back for the Tennessee Titans and one of the most productive running backs in the NFL, is officially inactive for Tennessee. He did not have a setback for his hamstring. This really has to do with resting him this week, making sure he's 100% next week for when the game really matters for Tennessee as far as making the playoffs. Another player whose status we have been monitoring, DJ Sharpe, the Jacksonville Jaguars receiver. He's been dealing with an ankle injury. He is officially active after just a 1-game absence. Certainly some help there. Meanwhile, Jamal Adams, the star safety for the Jets, he's also been battling an ankle injury. He is officially active. Some help on the back end there. And then maybe a little fantasy help. Kerryon Johnson, the starting running back for the Detroit Lions, missed most of the season after having knee surgery. He is officially going to be active today, and from what I understand, expected to be treated like a starter, going to get a ton of carries. Meanwhile, for the Monday night game, Vikings running back Dalvin Cook battling a shoulder injury and a chest injury. He is going to be out. And now
the middle game of our highly entertaining triple header on NFL Network yesterday, Tom Brady and Josh Allen going toe-to-toe. Second-year player just has a beautiful connection going with John Brown this year. Brown puts the Bills up midway through the third quarter, and he does that thing right there. Rex Burkhead just bullying his way into the end zone to give the Patriots a lead that they would not relinquish, much to the dismay of Bills fans. Josh Allen came close, but this was their last best opportunity, a fling and a prayer. And that will wrap it up. The Patriots are one more home win away from clinching a bye week. And if the Ravens somehow stumble, they're still alive for the 1 seed. But more likely than not, they'll enter the 2 seed. And the Houston Texans have clinched the AFC South as Jameis Winston's first pass of the game was a pick 6. And his last pass of the game, I'm a little bit ahead of myself. Here's the first pass. Yes, that's Winston. I know it's not Watson, America, okay? There you go. That's the first pass of the game, and the second pass. The last pass of the game was an interception that sealed things for the Texans, who are rooting heavily right now for the Chicago Bears tonight. That's the way that the Texans can be the 3 seed potentially. They do finish up the season against the Titans at home. The Chiefs have that big Sunday night game tonight. Every division in the AFC has been clinched. And then the nightcap of the triple header. Jared Goff and the Rams offense came out smoking. They put up 3 touchdowns, and then this grab by Cooper Kupp put the Rams up in this game that came down to one big defensive gaffe. On 3rd and 16, Rams could have gotten the ball back, maybe had Greg the Leg kick a field goal. Instead, a wide open Emmanuel Sanders sets up Robbie Gould as Jalen Ramsey letting his rookie Taylor Rapp know that he perhaps needed to be glued a little bit better to Emmanuel Sanders, and that's the way Robbie Gould